Hello, how you doing? I hope you're back with another video. I'm gonna make a comment. I'm gonna let the commentators do their part. It's not gonna be a long video, but it's dealing with this football player Travis Kelce and the newest situation. Why are these women, black women, some of them upset because they act like they're not. Some act like they're not upset, but they upset because he chose Taylor Swift. Let's get to his video.
After I had my kids, I hit a wall I never encountered before. I was doing everything right.
Travis Kelce proposing to Taylor Swift is a prime example of how black women are constantly overlooked when it comes to commitment, longevity, proposals, weddings, and these men choosing us. Prior to Taylor Swift, Kelce dated Kayla, who was a black woman, for over 6 years. And that wasn't enough time for him to realize he wanted to be with her to build a legacy, to propose, to commit. But 2 years was enough. Now, somebody might argue me and say, well, maybe Taylor Swift was more his type. Maybe that may be true. But how is a girl not your type if you're with her for 6 years? If you ever been to a college graduation and you see the graduates, have you ever seen the young white women and how they have their rings already? 23, 24-year-old women already proposed to because there's a plan. They have a plan in life that they know that they have to get married, start family, start legacy, and build up from there. When it comes to black women, they just want to make us baby mamas and leave us, and they just want to never commit fully and not treat us the same as far.
Hold on, stop right there. But yet, you allowed this to happen. It's your choice. Did you communicate this out when before you listened to his smooth tongue? Did you have a thorough communication of what your plans are? And if someone gets somebody for 6 years, what does that say? Maybe he was waiting for her to mature, but she didn't.
Being chosen like other races. And the fact that women are really not in control of proposing, we're waiting for these men to give us what we deserve, but it just never comes. Therefore, we then have to leave. Therefore, that we create a broken family, a broken household, and it continues and continues until black men start choosing us like other races choose their people, their women. Until black men start choosing us, the narrative is never going to stop. The broken family dynamic is never going to stop. Or black women have to be chosen by other men. And
well, let me say this. Well, you have to be more feminine and more mentally ready if you're that type of woman. And you have perfect examples of women around you who are married. That's why the ones who are married able to been married for 10, 15, 20 years and they're still happy. So it's not that black men don't want to marry. It's the type of character of black women that they don't want to marry. And it's basically, it comes back to you. But if you want to be what we deserve, that's the point. You have to compromise. You ain't willing to compromise, you're not gonna have it.
That's not always a given either.
I wanted to respond to this real quick because this video to me was absolutely fascinating. I mean, first of all, how are black men to blame? How are black men even in this conversation? What do black men have to do with a white man choosing to love and marry a white woman? Like, they're nowhere in the conversation, but what's so crazy to me about this entire dialogue,
That's true.
this entire context, is it's about a white couple. It's about a white couple. Travis Kelce in this scenario would be the one who is, in theory, being up for question, right? Based upon his history of being with multiple black women. And then all of a sudden, when it comes down to settling down, he chooses a white blonde, someone who appears to be against his preference. He should be the one who was under scrutiny, right? But somehow, when it's all said and done, it's still Jermaine's fault. That That is what I found so incredibly crazy about this video. I had to respond to because I'm like, what do black men are not? They're nowhere in this conversation.
No.
Yet it's still you got a white man who's choosing a white woman, and it's still Jermaine's fault. It's still black men's fault that this white man decided to leave the black queens and get him a Becky with the good hair. And honestly, I'm happy for them. I mean,
Right.
I hope it works out.
Exactly.
They seem like they're a good match. Like they
Exactly.
seem to keep together, and I really hope things go well. But I'm just the circular logic to me here is just absolutely insane. Now, another thing I noticed about this short TikTok video was this limiting belief that I oftentimes hear among black women, and that is that they cannot find love or marriage or commitment simply because they're black. And that is simply not true. I mean, before the 1950s, black American women were married at a higher rate than white women, and no one can sit here and tell me that racism wasn't going on. Obviously, there was a ton of racism black women were experiencing in 1950, so clearly it's not because they're black or because of racism or different things. No, that's not what's going on.
So why is that? Because maybe the black women at that time wanted to be wives. That's what it was. People in our great-grandmother, they wanted to be a wife. They knew what it took to be a wife. They wasn't most women wouldn't be independent. Oh, I'm not going to cook and clean after you. Your southern grandma didn't do that. You know, that's what your aunts didn't do that to keep their husbands. Now, shame on the ones, but the ones that know how to hold down. And, you know, it may not have been perfect all the time, but most couples that married that long knew what it take. Again, it comes down to character. Some of these black women of today who make these complaints, they don't have character like their grandmother. They don't have character like their great-grandmother, their mother, who has been married for God know how long. It's you. And maybe with the white woman that is in college, she saw the example. And she acted on her example. She watched her parents, the ones who want to be married. She understands the key. It's a relationship. Because she watched her grandparents. She watched her granduncles or grandaunts. And you understand there's a pattern and there's a bigger place and a bigger cause with that. Not that saying that some couples don't work out, because some white couples divorce like black couples, or sometimes maybe a certain degree to them because maybe it's the type of men that they came across. But see, this is another thing. It all comes down to character of a person. And so that is the problem with that.
Why choose Wyoming for business and corporation? At Wyoming?
I was talking to some of my friends today, and they were saying how bad they felt for Kayla Nicole. Like, he did her dirty. No lie, no tea, no shade. Their relationship, dirty.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Dump. As you know by now, Travis Kelce is going to marry Taylor Swift. She announced it on her Instagram page. It was over 30 million likes on the photo. Everybody is talking about it around the world. And of course, the one thing that we are wondering about is the whole situation with Kayla Nicole, right? Now, Kayla Nicole is the ex-girlfriend of Travis Kelce. And of course, we understand Kayla Nicole is obviously African-American, black. They were together off and on for 5 years. So then the question comes, how is it that Travis Kelce, who is known for dating black women, decided to marry a white woman? And now you're seeing people come out and talk about it.
Now everyone knows that Taylor Swift got engaged today, and she was engaged to Travis Kelce. But to me, like, that's not the interesting part. I was talking to some of my friends today, and they were saying how bad they felt for Kayla Nicole. Like, he did her dirty. no tea, no shade, their relationship dirty. I don't know if it was ever confirmed, but he cheated on her, wouldn't pay for things, and just bad overall. And he went and treated Taylor Swift like a queen. That's all we've seen.
Now, in this particular clip, she's saying that, hey, Travis Kelce did Taylor Nicole wrong, all right? And this is what a lot of the black women are saying. You know, if you look at it, you know, he wasted her time. It's all bad. You know, he cheated on her. He didn't want to pay for anything. And then, you know, within 2 years, he'll go out there and deal with a white woman. Again, this is from the same group of women that once a black woman gets a white man, it's yes! And then the white man goes back to the white woman, and now all of a sudden you feel victimized. But wait, there's more.
I don't know. I can't feel that for her. At the end of the day, she wanted to be a wag. She allowed him to make her pay for half of everything to prove that she wasn't in it for the money. She put up with the cheating, which people do all the time. But the biggest thing is she proved to that man that she was willing to do whatever to stay with him. And he allowed it. Because why wouldn't he? So when you put up with whatever from a man, you can't be surprised when they do you dirty.
So, you know what? She's saying, like, she proved that she wanted to be with the man, and it's her fault because, you know, she allowed it to happen. But the reality that this young lady is saying, and so many women today don't get it. Kayla Nicole was not offering up anything that was worth keeping. You know, she got dumped by Elon Schubert, and this is the whole situation. You can't be out here giving out trash work and expecting that somebody with the access of Travis Kelce is going to put up with you, all right? It's just not going to happen. You're not giving much. She's already said, I don't cook. I don't clean. If you want me to help you do something, pay me. Like, imagine you having a life partner, and this is how they talk. Nobody wants to deal with Kayla Nicole. She's self-aggrandizing. Like, oh, don't be wrong. She's good to look at, and she wants everything for a man, doesn't want to do anything for a man. That's why nobody keeps her around. And then all of a sudden, this is somehow Travis Kelce's fault. It's a racial issue now. It wasn't a racial issue when he was with her for 5 years, was it? And I'm glad the brother came out here and said this.
Congratulations to Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce on their engagement. Much love and success in a long marriage, hopefully. But I'm going to attack what y'all trying to do. Y'all trying to congratulate Taylor Swift while condemning Travis Kelce. That man does not have to explain why he's dated nothing but women of color and black women and ended up engaged to a white woman. He doesn't have to explain that. The problem is, y'all are so quick, like I always say on this app, y'all are so bad on condemning black men and thinking white men are going to save you, especially the rich, the rich ones. Oh, y'all think the rich ones just, all of y'all think y'all going to be Eve and Serena Williams. So if Travis Kelce used black women for a decade to get his rocks off and marry the white woman, good on him. He knows where his loyalties lie. He don't owe Kayla Nicole or the plethora of harem of black women who think that they are desirable to other races outside of black men.
Nope.
That is the delusion that y'all make up because y'all get these degrees. Y'all think y'all are better than black men. And time again, majority of white men and other races around the world show y'all that they're going to be loyalty to them and theirs.
Yep.
Y'all need to pick up the lesson.
Now, shout out to bruh.
Right.
Brother name is Leo Graham.
Spot on.
Zero. Shout out to him. He's
Spot
spitting
on.
facts.
Right.
Spitting all the way facts.
Right.
Y'all want to congratulate Taylor Swift while hate on Travis Kelce. All right? And the reality is, this ain't got nothing to do with race. Everybody know that what your type is that you might be wanting to date or to have fun with might not be the same qualities you look for in a long lifetime partner. Kayla Nicole just didn't cut it. The reason why he went back to a white woman is because, number one, she's respectable in his eyes, more or less than Kayla Nicole. I mean, if you look at some of the photos that Kayla Nicole posts online, I'm sorry. You're a man that really wants to marry a woman and you want to do things like this. I'm just going to be honest. It's a little risky, okay? You want a woman that what she wants to do, but she doesn't want to be a wife.
Mm-hmm.
I can guarantee you all the money that Taylor Swift has, when it comes to Travis Kelce, she's willing to sacrifice to be with that man.
That's
Point
it.
blank period.
That's
she
it.
is willing to, but what you need.
That's it. That's it.
Taylor Swift, will
That's
she
it.
cook and clean for you? Probably. Even though she don't got to, she'd be willing to do it.
Exactly.
Because she wants to be in a relationship.
Exactly.
There's always people who are, I hate to say it, who broke, who ain't got that much going on for her. I'm just going to be honest. Outside of Travis Kelce, nobody cares about Kayla Nicole. She ain't got nothing going. You look at her podcast, the numbers ain't there. Nobody really wants to deal with her. So I'm going to be real. She's 30-something now. 10 years come along, we will never hear from her again. Because what about me? What about me? She's another one of these chicks, Instagram models, whatever, looking for brand deals. No power in the game. No skin in the game. Alright? And so people who are like that are...
Listen, did you know that there's a way to earn from home?
He's absolutely right. And that's the thing about it is, these women want attention because they've been puffed up and everything. And so when you saw like with vanity and idolship, and you don't even want the relationship, you start thinking that you so pretty, then you've been prettier than the man that's around you. And this is kind of turned off to some men. It's like they don't mind having you attractive, but your personality and your attitude, some of these women with their attitude like her, that's the reason why. And they think that in what the men are saying around the world, yeah, there's attractive women all over the place. The thing about it is, they're attractive women, but they know how to be balanced with their attractiveness. They can be dropped 9 tens as they say, but they know how. But if, they can tie their head back in a bowl, look just as good, and get in that kitchen. Number one, I always think about this on the way I was saying, when I heard this story, come back home. First of all, she said she ain't gonna cook and clean. Wouldn't you want a house that cook and clean for yourself? So technically, unless you want to live in a crappy, smelly house and don't want to do nothing, you're cooking and cleaning anyway. Number two, if you have a pet, aren't you taking care? Let's say if you don't have no kids. Let's say if you have a dog or a cat. You still got to clean up after the dog or cat, or do you just don't let the dog and cat and let your house smell it with the dog and cat, whatever. See, this is what women don't think about this stuff. You clean up for somebody anyway, if it's a 4-legged or a 2-legged person, other than yourself. Number three, you don't when you cook for somebody, you're cooking out of love, and you want your spouse to the ones. If someone you love them, you won't want to cook for them. It's not a mandatory that you do it. You do it because you love it. You love that person. You think highly of that person. So maybe Travis was seeing that this is what kind of person that she was. She wasn't doing this. She wasn't doing that. I ain't doing it. I'm doing this. And then he's seeing her making pictures and showing her off herself on social media. And maybe it kind of turned him away. Then he's around other players, especially black players, and see how some of the single men, how the way they've done. And he's around other players, so he see other players' wives and girlfriends. So that's what he decided. I think that's what it was. Number two, I think it was probably his mother just saying that, see what kind of person that she is. But she didn't even know she don't interfere with her son's life, but I think she give her tad bit and kind of open up his eyes and see what kind of person that he was, and what kind of that, and thinking that this is my son, I'm looking out for him. We worked hard for this, so naturally. Number three, number 5. No. The next thing is that you're so entitled, and it don't have necessarily have to be, but you have some women from all races, walks of life in the Western world. You think you're so entitled that it got to come with a price. And the men with the money know this. They know that this is what you do, and so they're gonna use you up, and you think you're gonna play them. Now you might get one by, you're gonna play one to nice, and it goes back what I'm saying. But yet you you be trying to play this man, but and keep this man as a secret. But this guy who really ain't got nothing much going on for himself, so you give him all love and attention because he bring you that masculine toxicity that you want. So that's what it is. So what happens is that we live in an era that men is trying to tell other men, hey, you don't have to be Mr. Nice Guy. Improve yourself, improve your parents, get your money up and go. Women, and then take your focus off of them. This is what men advise in other men, and don't deal with no toxic woman. That's what it is. And these women and they just think that, and you see all these attractive, beautiful women, but they don't have no husbands. Black women. You know why the ones that are famous? You know why? They don't know how to compromise. They don't have the component. And how is it that other women who are married can help maintain a relationship? How can Simone Biles maintain a relationship? She's a black woman, but you can't. She got an NFL player, but you don't. How is that? And she's an athlete, so she ain't out there showing off her behind all over the place. She's a black woman. And she ain't talking this crazy stuff. Because she came from, but she saw what a parent is. That's what it comes down to. That's why, and people, they talked about Simone Biles, but Simone bagged the man. What do you have? And the ones that create, and this is to the women that create, so it ain't got nothing to do with being black. You just want to be entitled. That's what it comes down to.
Introducing the Eden Pure Gen 70 heater. This compact, ultra-powerful heater.
And I'm not talking this to all women, but there's a certain type of women. I'm talking to this entitled women.
Heater is just 2.5 pounds.
My type, male, I would say, is someone of great character, loves their family, 6'5". Is driven, is very forthright, has abs. There's things I like, but I'm not emotional. Yeah, but that's a few. My biggest advice to dating an athlete, I think, would be to always have, your own career, your own goals, your own aspirations, because it's really easy to get caught up in their dream and their vision for their life. Yeah. I don't care who I date. I don't care where they are. I'm gonna always have my own place. Yeah. I'm gonna always have my own car. I'm gonna always focus on my career, support theirs, but really prioritize my own goals because.
Wow, pathetic story later.
Mark my words, I would not be surprised if Travis Kelce gets engaged with Taylor Swift very soon.
Travis Kelce's ex is choosing joy. Hours after Travis and Taylor Swift announced their engagement news to the world.
Fans are saying Travis Kelce fumbled his ex after his engagement announcement to Taylor Swift. Did y'all forget what a fumble is? A fumble is actually when you lose something of value. He just dropped an extreme liability to one of the largest assets in the last 15 to 20 years. And you're saying that this is a fumble? So you actually think in your little brains that just because that woman's cheeks are a little bit bigger than Taylor Swift's, that outweighs everything that Taylor Swift brings to the table. Compared to a woman who's actually selfish and think it's brag-worthy to say, does it look like I do 50-50?
Yeah, do I look like anybody that would split anything? So you guys broke up at that point because... No, this is the question. Do I look like I would go 50-50 on bills? No.
As if her presence alone should be enough to satisfy any man. Saying to someone, does it look like I do 50-50? It just speaks loud and clear that you are for sale. And yes, you will have some buyers out there. But trust me, 99% of the time, they know what you are. They know it's for sale, and they can afford it. But they only doing it for a temporary thrill.
His ex, Kayla Nicole, takes to the gram with a cryptic message about happiness. The YouTuber reposts an interview clip from actress Tracy Ellis Ross.
I work at it. I think joy is different from happiness. I feel like happiness is something you can get at 7-Eleven, and joy is something that you earn and work for and takes practice. I feel like joy has legs. I feel like joy has feet. I feel like joy has roots. I feel like joy creates space and allows room for more than just a good day. I think joy is an attitude. I think joy is a perspective. And I think joy is a lens through which I live and look at my life.
Kayla writes over the clip, read about this very concept years ago in a book called Choose Joy Because Happiness Isn't Enough, adding, I aspire. So good.
I'm glad that you said that, Kayla, because basically this cryptic post means you're on the same road as Tracy Ellis Ross, as Tia Mowry. Please get a ticket and get in line over there with them. You lost. This is how people who lose talk. Let's shift the goalposts. Well, I'm happy still. Are you happy? You got beat fair and square by Taylor Swift from the man that you used to have. He upgraded. He's not thinking about you. His life is going to be tremendously better, and at the same time, you can't get nobody.
But you know what she's really upset over? She's upset over the fact that everybody saw this coming except for her. Everyone saw that this was going to happen. Everyone saw that this was going to occur except for her. This is the way she thought it was going to be. At least the way she thought it should be. You take a look at her face. You take a look at her. That is genuine admiration. Oh, she's looking up to him. She's like, this is it. Zaddy has arrived. My ship has come in. This is the dude. That is genuine submission, genuine contentment, genuine satisfaction.
Travis didn't fumble. Travis didn't fumble a goddamn thing. Okay, he didn't fumble. He went from a woman, that models to a goddamn billionaire. Okay, a billionaire. Okay, regardless if you like her body or not, or if you think she's cute or not, she's worth $1 billion.
Yeah.
1.6 billion. Travis made the right decision. Now, don't get me wrong. She gave him all the swag. Everybody was loving the way Travis looked when he was with her. Now he look like Lieutenant Dan and all the Swifties love him. Okay? It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But he ain't fumbled. I think he scored a goddamn touchdown. I think he broke a goddamn record.
Travis Kelce has single-handedly obliterated the hopes and dreams for an entire generation of internet bedwenches around the globe. They are on collective watch. They are embarrassed. They are humiliated. They are degraded. They don't know what to do. And it has been delicious to watch them as they have gone into full-blown mental and emotional breakdown. But it was all very predictable.
And I was right, because my theory doesn't fail. For those who were following along, I made a video called The 5 Types of White Men That Date Black Women. There are 5 types of white men that date black women, and I'm going to tell you what they are, and the ones you need to stay away from. Starting off, the ones that just want a good time and not a long time with you. And before you comment, well, the majority of single men just want casual relations with most women. There's a difference. The difference is that it's never going to be you. He'll find you very attractive and actually like you, but he knows in the back of his head when it's time to settle down, he's going to go with what his family accepts, what he thinks is palatable, what he thinks is the norm and the default. And they see women, and especially black women, as an object for their fetish. And just like my theory says, there are certain types of men that will date specific types of women over and over again, but when he is ready to settle down and get married, he's going to go to where he believes he belongs.
In the 2 years that Travis Kelce dated Taylor Swift, I bet you the pressure was on. I bet you there was people in his ear saying, what are y'all doing? What are we doing, Travis? Like, you've been with her for 2 years. The family loves her, and like, come on, what are we doing? Are you going to propose? What's going on? I bet you that pressure was on him, and the pressure when he was dating Kayla was non-existent. Why? Because black girls are just fun. Like, she's so much fun. She dresses you. You look so cool. When you're dating a black woman, it's to be cool. It's to look cool. It's to have fun. But there's no pressure. There's no pressure for commitment. There's no pressure for a wedding. But when it comes to legacy, when it comes to starting a family, when it comes to we want to have some babies.
Office hours.
It comes back to character. That's what it comes down to. Some of these women didn't show good character. A relationship, want to be a wife. That's what it comes down to. And I know personally, a Hispanic guy that I know that came from I think it was Guatemala, or I think it's either Guatemala or Honduras, and he had a black woman here in America, and he told me this. This is a guy I went to a Hispanic church with. I was kind of blown away. I was like, wow, you really? I mean, I didn't, again, go through any detail why they broke up. But to put it this way, the woman that he has now, he had to go back to his country. And the woman that he has now is the woman from his native country. So to come back what she said is true. And I don't know what it was that caused that relationship to go, but he ended up going back and getting them. This was a man that's, I think, that's from the country, he's a citizen of America, but his origins is, I think, is El Salvador. If I'm not, either El Salvador or Guatemala, I forgot. But he went back, and so this stuff is true. And he had a black woman. So, what does that tell you? That maybe it comes down to character. And maybe the type of women that he's seen here that didn't have the qualities of a woman that wants to be a wife. Maybe the black women that they came across, he didn't see a wife material. Not that there's not some out there that are not. And there might be some black women that probably do. They're out there, but they're probably not in high numbers. I can tell you that much. They're out there, but they're probably in a far few numbers. You know why? Because women put other women under pressure, saying, well, in order to do something like that, you got to be a pick-me. You can't be no pick-me. You heard what she said? You think I'm a 50-50 person? Why does that matter when you part of a relationship? You see what I'm saying? These women tell on themselves. That's part of a relationship you give to each other. I don't get it. And then they get mad why they're being single. It's their own words, I said this a long time ago, that make them single. It's their own very words. The very words that they say causing their mouth is their own destruction. I'm not going to cook, going to clean. Well, you're going to have to cook and clean either way. Either you live by yourself, unless you want to spend, and it's getting expensive to eat out. Well, I have to get a maid or whatever. But wouldn't you do stuff out of love? Maybe what I think was she wanted the spotlight because he's a football player. He do pretty well. Yeah, she's a billionaire, but Travis Kelce got some money too. He's been in the NFL for a while, so he got some commercials and stuff like that. It just kicked his brain up even more. So yeah, and his family like her. Brother seemingly like her. What I seen, the mom seeming like her. That's probably what it is. And it's just sometimes maybe the men that come across see that want to settle down, and then they go out there. They play the field for a while, but they're looking for the long goal of what a relationship is. See, some women in our community see the shorter goal. Other people see the longer goal for the future. That's what it comes down to. It comes down to the character. And they right has nothing to do with race. And some men, black men, have done the same thing. Some have dated white women and eventually go back to black women. Some dated and go back. It can go either way. Why we make it comes down. You come across the right person according to the character and what lines up and what you know. But black men been trying who are single really don't want to leave black women. There's a certain segment of black don't want to leave, but it's like to the point they ain't got no choice because some of the black women have come across don't want to be that woman to be a potential wife. They don't, and once they become the potential wife, then they complain. what they don't have. You have to build things up. And like what they said about the young women, when a guy, the young white guy and the young white woman going to college, they got a plan. It ain't peaches and roses and shit. They got paid school off one day too, but they got to find a job that pay them just like everybody else do. But they choose to make it work. That's all what it comes down to. And if you choose to just throw up the towel, I can't handle it. Oh my goodness, I can't. I need somebody that makes some money. Then you don't understand. Everything has to go. Sometimes a lot of things decline, then they incline. That's the way of life. And some of these women don't know how to handle things that's going. I don't care if a black guy, white guy, Hispanic guy. Every guy has a downfall. Then you can make this thing that. Then what about the guys who are under 6 feet tall? Not that some men are. You might meet a man 6 feet tall and can be abusive or whatever. What don't the character got line up with it? But that's what I prefer, because I think I'm too pretty enough. That's the problem. So when the men and some of these men that they get mad at that pick these other races when it comes to black men, they wouldn't have been attracted to them anyway, because they're not the right height. They look corny. They don't have that toxicity. They ain't got that swag to them. And they ain't got that, I don't know, whatever it is. And so maybe when the black men did approach, they didn't like the way they approached. How you doing? And, so some men some black men don't even say nothing to black women. I'm just telling you, it's your person, and we've been saying this, it's your personality. And then you try to justify it and say, well, we got to go through so much to be able to understand that every woman go through something. Every woman go through something in society. Maybe you do go through something, but you got to be so nasty in disposition towards men. Maybe come across one guy as a jerk, but it's like some of you act like every man that don't look to your appealing is not worthy to be in your presence. So guess what? So when American men get their money up, whether they black, white, whatever, they probably shocked that there's women that actually care, that really want to know who they are. You don't care because you think it should be entitled to you. That's what's wrong with you. That's why you don't have the man. And then when you get the man, you don't know how to appreciate the man you have. You make these podcasts and stuff. You tell your business all over the world. Your attention's all over the world. So if there are some men sitting back at the club making good money and hearing damn. It could be a white man, it could be a black man, Hispanic man, and they're like, damn. But if they really listen to what you're saying, it don't add up. So I think he saw the longevity of it. And then I guess it's some probably because what he's seen how some women conduct themselves. And maybe the women that conduct themselves wasn't to the measure of being a wife. That's probably what it was. That's maybe those black women didn't measure up to being a wife. I'm not saying that all black women don't. There are some black women who probably do measure up to be a wife. But maybe they didn't come across this path. But when you have a Kayla Nicole saying, you think I'm going to go 50-50? That tells you a whole lot. That's all I'm going to say. And that could be any woman. It could be white, whatever. But I'm just saying, why do you think Travis went towards Taylor? And like O'Shea say, she might do that, but Taylor is mature enough in her life stage to know how to keep a man, because there's been women in her family how to keep a man. So that's how she learned. Maybe, and if you go overseas, being a black woman or Western women, watch how the way the women conduct themselves, how they keep a relationship. If you got money to travel, you'll see for yourself. But if you come up with this condescending, I'm too educated, he ain't doing it, he ain't 6 feet tall, then you're going to be lonely over in that country just like you did here. Wash out my standards. Okay? If that's what it comes down to, but hey, you get what you get. Because you can meet a man with money, 6 feet, and you don't know he's a psychopath. You don't think, and this is what they don't think about. He can look, the devil don't always have to look like he's a picture on hand. He can come like a handsome man, the most handsomest man on the planet. You wouldn't even, and some of you wouldn't ever even know he's the devil, because you don't have no discernment. If you don't have no discernment with God, that's the truth. And you'll fall for his, and he can have that tongue, that swag, and everything. You don't give enough longitude, some of you women out there, to see what the man's really about, till it's too late. So that's why you end up in a situation that you do. But I digress. But anyway, get back to what I was saying. This is the reason why. It's her fault. It's her own words that said it. That's why he went. Has nothing to do with race. It comes down to character. Okay? Alright then, guys. Take care. See you on the next video.